I've been planning this video for a very long time. I would say about over a week, and many hours were put into this. So before I start, I just want to say I'm not trained in anything. I'm not qualified to be giving professional advice, none of that. I'm just a teenage content creator giving his experience with suicide. So I'm just going to start off with my story. I have been bullied since I was about maybe 7 years old, and it stopped when I was about 14, and the worst it ever got was, I think, 4 bullies at once. One in my football team, one in my friend group, and 2 in my main class. Like, you would share English, media studies, all of that in the same class and have PE together. So, yeah, this is how I avoided suicide at 15 years old. I've been really nervous to record this video because, like, all the people I know in real life just gonna see the title of this video and be like, what the fuck, Kade was suicidal, yeah, whatever. Okay. But apart from bullying, I also discovered porn at 8 years old. I think that took a significant toll to my mental health. And I got heavily addicted at age 10 and just before I turned 11, pretty much. Something I'm not proud of, but I am grateful for it. I'm grateful I got bullied, and I'm grateful that I had all these addictions. So I was getting bullied and I was addicted to porn and video games up until when I was 13 years old, yeah. So when I was 13, I came up with a conclusion that I will never become anything special, and I am a waste of space, and I pretty much lost all hope. Grades were terrible, getting benched for football, gaining a little bit of weight but still kind of skinny, bullied on the daily, just poor mental health, poor everything in life. I just hated life. And I thought to myself, okay, what do I like doing? I like playing video games. So, what did I do after I thought of that? Started a YouTube channel. Named it Sinister at the time, or something like that. Like, it's Sinister or something. And I started uploading Fortnite videos. And this was my only hope to not killing myself at the time. Because I feared the 9-to-5 job. I hated anything else in life. Everything else I dreaded doing. Even just social occasions with my family. I hated everything. And I started gaming more because I wanted to get better at creating content. You can literally click on my YouTube channel and scroll down and you'll see my videos, my old videos. And then I got into COD and started streaming, and the hours increased. I started drinking more fizzy drinks to the point where I genuinely wanted to kill myself. I was 14, 15 at the time. And it only got worse before it got better. I'd say at the worst point I was with streaming and gaming was doing 12, 24-hour streams, 30-hour streams, drinking 5 Cokes a day. And this is with normal 3-hour streams, I'd drink 5 Cokes. So on a 12-hour stream, I'd be drinking 10, if not more. Cans, full bottles, straight sugar addiction, and caffeine. And I just had the worst mindset possible. I was atheist. I thought we had no purpose. We're just here till we die. No afterlife. Just shit happens. Today I am I'm physically the strongest I've ever been and the mentally strongest I've ever been in my whole life. And I'm 17 years old today. This is how I did it. So, I want to talk about a few things in this video, like a few aspects, and all of them are connected because just like your mental health and physical health, if you have a bad mental health, that will have a toll on your physical health. For example, if you have a bad mental health and you feel terrible, you will start to do more things that bring you pleasure in the current moment. You'll eat that junk food, which will cause you to gain a little bit of weight. They're connected, but it's also lifestyle, which is just what you do on a daily basis. Do you have a desk job? Do you not even do PE in school? How are you living from day to day? How much sunlight do you get? Diet, what you eat. It's pretty straightforward. I'll get into it later. Coping mechanisms. I don't see this talked about that much, but coping mechanisms is what you do when you're not on your average day. How you're feeling and how that has an effect. I'm not some Andrew Tate, so yes, how I feel does sort of have an impact on what I do, but it doesn't have much effect as it used to. Because when someone is sad, when the average person is sad, they will tend to be more lazy. They will tend to chase pleasure instead of the pain of discipline, the pain of hard work. Yeah, all of these are connected. And I'm going to be going one by one how I myself improved it and how you can too. I made a lot of notes for this video. That is actually dumb. Okay, so I'll start with the two biggest ones, but first I'll do physical health. It is crucial to be physically healthy. And I think the biggest connection would be physical and mental health. Because once you have a strong body, it is easy to develop yourself mentally. If you are hitting the gym 6 days a week, you have developed the discipline to have a decent mental health. It may not be good, but it's definitely not bad. And the easiest way to do it is just get in the gym, bro. Pick up the weights. If you aren't even working out today, if you aren't working out ever, you aren't doing any fitness, just get outside and do something. Doesn't matter how small or how big or how often. Just get to it and do it as soon as possible. And then do it again. If you exercised 0 times this week, do it once next week. That's still progress. And then 2 times the next week. And then just slowly develop that habit. Take it slow. This isn't a race. Physical health is along with all of these, physical health is a lifelong journey that you need to maintain. If you want to live long, at least. So, quick benefits is when you're doing exercise, your body releases endorphins, which make you feel better in general and help you sleep better, which also helps your mental health. So, I just wrote a list of benefits. Better cardiovascular health, longer lifespan on average, decreased risk of type 2 diabetes, slows the loss of bone density, reduce fat percentage, obviously, increase in confidence and mental health. So, I started in the gym, obviously, because I've made a few videos on it. And progress feels fucking amazing. When you've noticed that you have dropped those few pounds or gained a few in muscle, it feels good. It actually brings you a sense of joy, being like, myself a week ago did that for me. I did that hard 2-hour workout for me today. And I'm going to do one again today for myself 5 years from now. And he's going to be looking back being like, my past self did that for me. Do the hard shit now, enjoy it later. That is the main mindset you should be having with physical fitness and health. I think the most underrated thing is when other people notice the progress. Like, my brother, my mum, my dad, all of them have noticed the progress that I've made in 5 months. Oh, actually like 7 overall, but in 5 months only. Think about that. It has been noticeable by multiple people. Imagine what you can do. You can probably do more than me. I'm kind of a piece of shit, but yeah. Okay, so before I get on to mental health, this is so important. Physical health is what helps you develop the mind. This is what Andrew Huberman has said in a podcast. It literally is so connected that without a strong body, you will never have a strong mind. Simple as that. You need to build the discipline of doing physical fitness in your day-to-day life as much as you possibly can. And yes, it's hard. Scheduling pain into your daily routine. It is fucking hard, but it's worth it. The reason why this stopped me from being suicidal, this was just a part of it. Because it helped me reflect. Okay, so I've built this body. What can I do? What else can I do? What can I do for my mind? How can I stop these negative thoughts? How can I stop thinking about looking at the news and seeing a car crash and thinking, oh, he's lucky. Why can't that just be me? Why can't I be the one that got skin cancer? Yeah. I'm just going to go on to mental health. I don't know how long this video will be, but I might remake this in the future when I'm a lot better at presenting. But yeah, I've been hella nervous to make this video, so if I'm not as confident as usual, that is why. Because I've never really opened up about this shit before. I never really had anyone to talk to. Counseling is kind of a scam. They just tell your parents and all this shit. So this just brings me to mental health. I'm just going to start off with coping mechanisms because they're very connected. Shit mental health, more coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms can be positive or negative. What I mean by coping mechanisms is what you do when you're sad or happy. And for an example is you're tired after a long day of work. 11-hour shift. What do? Video games or lie down and have a nap? Or go for a walk in nature? Or jack off? When you have a shit mental health, you're going to choose the things that just aren't good for you. You're going to pick up that chocolate bar, sit on the couch and binge watch some random Netflix show. that you don't even really like that much. As someone, this is coming from someone who probably wouldn't have even been here without this. Mental health is more important than physical health. 100%. Whether you're a dude, a woman, black, white, 15 or 73 years old, mental health is always going to be the most important. Because at the end of the day, it's you and your thoughts. No one else. No other activity. No other fucking food. It's just you. And your mind. So, remember to check on your friends, because 76% of males, well, 76% of suicides are male. Now, as a male, I can say that it's because there's no one to talk to. There's no help. No one gives a fuck. And that's the sad, cold reality. That it's either you suffer alone in silence, or you pay for a therapist. It's weird to ask your male friend, being like, yo, can I vent for a second? That culture is just non-existent. It's not that no one cares, but it's not normalized. So, I don't think I can change a culture by myself. So I'm going to teach you how to do this alone. Because that's how I did it. Okay, so I'm just going to list a few things that actually can lead to suicide. Well, they usually stack on top of each other. Like, if you have one bad thing, yes, it will take a toll on your mental health, but it would probably take multiple that will push you that far. And that is what happened with me. I'm just going to list them. Social media and mindless scrolling. Caffeine. Yes, caffeine. Porn and masturbation addiction. Gaming. Drugs, including weed and nangs. Even the party drugs. Smoking. It doesn't... Okay, so the thing with smoking is that the people that smoke, they say it's a stress reliever, right? But I've actually been watching a few videos in preparation for this, and it actually... it isn't that. It doesn't do that for the long term. It may do it for the 5 minutes that you're smoking one, but it actually spikes your anxiety. It makes you more anxious on your day-to-day life. Alcohol and partying, hookup culture, and loneliness. Of course, there's a couple others that I may have left out, but... like PTSD and trauma in general, but I feel like those are the main ones in Western culture, at least. Okay, so let me just explain why those things, because you probably disagree with one of them, and it's probably the one that you indulge in. Because, okay, let's say your happiness level is at 50, right? This is an example. Yes, I've stolen it from Hamza, but it's so damn accurate. And you indulge in something that brings you pleasure in the current moment. So let's say you're at 50, and you decide to have it at your bong. It's not that pleasurable, but it's pleasure. Instant gratification. So your happiness goes from 50, and then it spikes up. Goes to 60. And then once you put away that bong and you start just sitting in your chair, and then the high goes away. It drops down to 30. Because instant gratification, all these shitty activities, bring you pleasure in the now, but you're sacrificing your future self. When you're watching hyper-stimulating porn, let's say you just finished with your bong, you're at 40, so you're less happy than what you were. So what do? Well, you don't have the best mental health, so you don't actually feel like going outside for a walk. You want to do something else that's pleasurable. So you watch some porn. You're at 40, and then you go up to 80. Because it's extremely pleasurable. And then guess what happens afterwards? You drop down again, but even lower. You're at 25 now. Over time, if you are doing this, if this is your lifestyle, you will become depressed. Of course, the more extreme the activity is, the more pleasure it will give you, and then the more clarity it will give you afterwards. Like post-nut clarity. So, scrolling on Instagram, it's not that bad, right? So, I'd say it would rise by 5, drop by like 10. The reason why I feel like I had to explain that is because so many people don't realize that. So many men are trapped in these dopamine farming addictions. And they don't realize that the thing that's bringing them pleasure day to day is the thing that's making them the most depressed. The games that you play. You need to do what doesn't feel that great in the moment. That will actually make you feel fucking amazing in the future. It's as simple as that with mental health. So, because you probably have a shitty mental health, you need to try and delay those instant gratification activities. What I mean is, if you're jacking off 6 days a week, right? Next week, aim for 4. Small goal, and it's okay if you jack off again. Because imagine telling a guy who's been working for 2 years and he accidentally used all of his paid leave and he takes a day off sick for the first time in 2 years. Imagine telling him that he's fired from his job because of that. He's lost all his progress in that company he's in. It doesn't work like that. Or that dude on a diet when he eats a ice cream or a burger. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't just reset his progress. It's about slowly decreasing that activity. Don't try cold turkey it. Don't try just quit. Throw away your vape. Throw away your fucking phone. Literally just do it less, week by week. That's something I didn't even realize. And that's why it took me so long to quit all those things. But now I'm completely clean. Okay, so now that I've told you the average things that shit on your mental health, I'm going to say... Oh, I'm just going to quickly grab some. This is how to actually improve your mental health. This is what worked for me. So I'm just going to start off with... It's not about happiness. Happiness is never the goal. It never should be. But gratitude is probably the easiest hack to get as close to happiness as possible. So what I want you to do is buy 2 books that are about this size. In comparison, this is my phone book. Pretty small, right? The reason why I said 2 is, I will get to that later, but for now, with one of them, what you want to do is every single morning or every single night before you go to bed, I would recommend morning, is you wake up, pull out your pen, write down the date, and then 5 things you're grateful for. No matter what it is. Whether it's this mouse, this mic, my pants, this hoodie, the sun. It doesn't matter. Just 5 things that you were genuinely grateful for. Maybe you're grateful that that girl left you because it caused you to self-evaluate, and now you're going to the gym more. I don't do this personally, this next part, but a way you can boost this even more is you don't write the day under this, but because it will be the same day, but at the end of the day, write down 3 things on why this day was a good day. Maybe you had a good workout. Maybe it didn't rain today. Maybe last night you fell asleep and it was raining and you woke up feeling refreshed. Whatever it is. Just 3 things. I know this sounds dumb, but over time you will notice a difference. So, you need to realize that your situations have an effect on your mental health, your lifestyle, so your surroundings. With a change of surroundings, it can drastically change your mental health. Good or bad. Either you leave that city apartment and move back to your parents, or vice versa, or you start living in the country. All of this can have an effect on your mental health, whether it's negative or positive, because you'll tend to adjust. Like, if you have a gym that's 15 k's away, instead of 2, you're probably going to go to it less. Simple as that. If something isn't as accessible, you won't do it as much. But what you need to learn is how to say no, how to reject things. You need to constantly have a mission in mind. I'm just gonna put a video here if you're interested in that concept, but it's only like 7 minutes long. So, happiness doesn't have to be that next thing. Yes, we should always be striving for more, trying to get that promotion in your job. But it's where we are now. And that's why gratitude is so important. Because although we're working for the next thing, I'm trying to work to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm happy. Simple as that. I'm happy with my situation, but I will always be working for more. And you need to realize that as well. Okay, so this next part, some dudes will call this gay. I know they will. But the second book is to journal. Not a diary being like, dear diary. But simply just it doesn't even have to be every single day. If you want to go that extra mile, then it will help a lot more. But once every 2 days, just write down the day and then how you're feeling. And then why you're feeling that way. Whether it's, oh yeah, that girl left me undelivered for 6 hours and now I don't feel so good about myself. Or, I did hill sprints earlier today and I feel fucking amazing but my legs hurt. You will start to see a trend over time once you look back at your journal, and you'll notice the things that have a large impact on your mental health. If it's a girl and she's kind of toxic, cut her out. Simple as that. And it helps with the mind, because instead of it just being like a thought in your mind that's constantly replaying itself, you are now no longer thinking about that. I'm not saying you just forget about it completely now that it's on paper, but I don't know, it does something. Like, if you're constantly stressing about something and you start journaling about it, that is no longer in your constant repeat thought process. Whatever you think about constantly, it's just no longer there. You could think about it if you want to, but it's no longer just replaying in your mind. And you will suck at journaling at first. That's just, everyone does. But after a while, you will start to notice that things just come to your mind a lot faster. Things start coming together a lot more. And you'll be letting your pen fly. Writing down heaps. That's why I said 2 books. Okay. So that's just 2 daily activities. Including books. Fuck. Half an hour already. I have so much to go. Hold up. There's my water bottle. The things I go in detail in is the things that I did myself. If I list something, I probably haven't done it to a large extent, but everything I go into detail in is something that I've done that has significantly improved my mental health, and it stopped me from wanting to kill myself. Simple as that. So, the things left of mental health is just get outside every single day. No matter whether it's for 30 minutes or 2 hours. Just get outside. Get in the sun. I used to get nagged at a lot because I was in my room playing COD 5 hours a day, not even seeing the sun. I would get sick so often and miss a lot of school. And the easiest way is just go for a walk in nature. Whether it's by the beach or through a mini forest near your house. Or maybe through a paddock. Just get outside and do something. And it will help you enjoy the little things in life. The views. The people that smile at you as you walk past. Really little things. But you'll start to notice them. Even if this is just hanging out with people. Having a kick around at the park with one of your old friends. You'll be surprised, like, if you are no longer hanging out with your old high school friends, you will be surprised how many of them would be keen to hang out. Okay, yeah, just simple ideas would just be going to the local arcade, bowling, fucking just having even a gym session with them. Just simple shit that you probably already do in your daily routine or want to do. Maybe you want to get into kickboxing. Have a friendly spar with them. But avoid all toxic people. I'm not going to get into this, but you know the toxic people around you. You know the ones that don't want you to succeed. Stop talking to them, just avoid them. You don't need to be like, oh, fuck you, you're toxic, piss off, stay away from me. But just distance yourself from them. Okay, so, next thing, this is simple, but sleep schedule. My generation is so fucked for this one. Oh my god, lockdown really screwed us. But pretty much this is a lifelong commitment. You need to choose the time when you're going to wake up, and then choose a time that's appropriate to go to sleep. If you're around my age and maybe a little bit younger and you're still growing, if you want to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, don't pick 10 p.m. as the time you go to sleep, as that is just 8 hours. And the time of sleeping, like falling asleep, that's already 7 hours and 45 minutes. But literally just do 9 hours. I would recommend 9 hours. So I go to sleep at 8 p.m. every single night and I wake up at 5:30 usually. Just stick to it. But if your sleep schedule is very fucked at the moment, like you're going to sleep at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., if you're watching this video and you related to the first part of this video, my story, just take it slow. You don't have to set that routine, that 30-day fucking challenge of going to sleep at 7 p.m., waking up at 4 a.m. Don't do that. It's not sustainable. You won't be able to stick to it. This is why I hate social media, because anything that's self-improvement related, it's all just a 30-day challenge or a 90-day challenge. It's all temporary. This is a lifelong commitment, and you need to realize that. With your mental health, physical health, lifestyle, coping mechanisms, all of it. So if you actually take this video seriously, it will have a lifelong effect on you. I can guarantee it. Because it has for me. Of course, the sleep schedule part changes per person. Like for me, I need a lot of sleep. I don't know why, but if I don't get at least 9 hours, I am fucking gone. I am dead. I am staring at the floor for half the day just thinking, why did I stay up that long? Okay, I know my videos are very direct about success and motivation and all that self-improvement shit, but what I want you to do is just, before I go on to diet, enjoy life. Do the fun shit that's not the dopamine farming shit. Meaning no substances, no video games, no porn. Do things that you find fun. Maybe you like golf, maybe you like drawing. Do it daily. What's stopping you? The storm passes. I know that when someone feels happy, right? They know it's not going to last forever. They know that. They are aware of it. But they're celebrating the current moment. They're present. If you've made it this far, I'm guessing you're in somewhat of a bad spot right now. Or maybe you just want to improve in all areas of life. But the storm passes. When we are thinking negatively on a daily basis, we are in this trap that nothing will get better. I was fucking 15 years old thinking I would be playing COD for the rest of my life. I was 15 years old thinking I was going to be some depressed streamer. Skinnier than Ninja, if you guys know who he is. Shit changes, and it changes fast. So you need to do fun stuff and incorporate things that you find fun. I actually find this fun because it is challenging. I am a very introverted person and I have barely any friends. I barely talk to anyone. So me setting up a camera and a ring light behind it, turning on a lamp to the side for lighting, and pressing record is actually a challenge for me. And I like challenges. So, with the fun shit, it will be different for person to person. So whatever you tried that doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean that it won't work for the next person. Like what worked for me probably won't work for you. So this is gonna sound weird, but I love challenging myself and I love testing my boundaries. Sounds like some David Goggins shit, but yeah. I love really hard workouts and I love really difficult things that are challenging mentally and physically. But yeah. Maybe it's just a simple hobby. Anyways, I'm just gonna get into diet now. I need to get better at transitioning. But diet has an effect on everything you do. It's what fuels your body, your muscles, and your brain. It impacts your productivity, your mood, your gut feeling, everything. If you ate like shit right now, for the rest of the day, guess what you're going to be doing tomorrow? Probably sick from work, getting the shits, feeling terrible mentally as well, having a headache, and just having gut problems. What works diet-wise for most people is simply just meat, vegetables, rice, sometimes pasta. It's simple as that. It will differ from person to person, but it's usually that. Okay, so here's my mindset around the shit foods. Those sodas, those fucking burgers at Macca's, those frozen Cokes, the ice cream, just junk food in general. Whether it's a shitty drink or a New York style pizza. It makes you feel good now, right? But guess what? It's a trap. It's a fucking trap. They make that food to make you feel good. But it comes at a cost. What does that cost? Is that it's the same as the coping mechanisms. It makes you feel good now. It spikes your dopamine. And then it makes you feel worse afterwards. It's that simple. But the thing with diet is that it has an effect on things that you wouldn't be able to control right now. Like if I ate a full bar of chocolate, unless I vomit it out, I have to live with that for the next 24 hours, feeling just a little bit worse. Yeah. So, my advice for diet is just... I actually had like the worst diet possible. All sugar, all junk food. Drinking so much Coke. Binge drinking. Don't look at my age. And just eat less sugar. That is the main thing that I genuinely had an addiction to. Was the sugar that the Coke gave me. The energy. The small amount of caffeine, but it was mainly the sugar. Avoid modern food, because if you start looking at like the tags with the nutritional information, you'll be disgusted about how much sugar there is in everything. Okay, so the things to look for in the labels is glucose, maltose, lactose, sucrose, and starch. All of these are types of sugar. So it's not just sugar. You need to look for all of those as well. And you may be wondering why I'm talking about diet. Well, obviously it impacts your productivity and your general performance and your mental health and your current mood. But it also has an effect on your immune system. Because think of it as like the fuel for your car. And when you have a hill to go up and you don't even have the right fuel in your fucking car, how do you expect to go up that massive hill? You're going to be stuck at the bottom. Or, like sugar, you're going to go up the hill really fast, but then slowly creep back down because you just don't have enough stamina. If you have trouble concentrating in class, like I did, a lot of the time it's diet related. Switch up your diet, even if you're eating considerably healthy. Try different things. Try eating more steak instead of more chicken. Just make changes in your diet, but don't do it too often until you find what works. And then once you find what works, stick to it. For life. Okay, so the reason why I said less sugar is obviously it's unhealthy, but the reason why it is unhealthy is because it spikes ghrelin. Ghrelin? Ghrelin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. And what it does is it lets you know when you're hungry. It's not a sense, it's what regulates your eating schedule, if that even makes sense, but pretty much, if you ate at 6 p.m. every day, your ghrelin would spike at 6 p.m. every single day, which is your body telling you, "Oi, dick, feed me." When you eat sugar, it actually affects it. It spikes your ghrelin more often. It causes you to eat more. And also, it takes away the sense of being full. Of course, the more sugar you eat, the more it takes it away. But it doesn't obviously fully go away. But the reason why you see those fat people on TV that weigh like 700 pounds, the reason why they can eat so much is because you'll notice that sugar is the main thing in their diet. They don't have the sense anymore of feeling full. So they have to eat more and more and more to feel full. Even though they were full 3 cakes ago. I won't get into like the fitness, bodybuilding, weightlifting shit for diet. Not in this video. This is just how to stop being... Just how to get out of the trap of being suicidal in today. So, lifestyle is pretty short. Wait, how long is this video? 50 fucking minutes. Lifestyle is just pretty simple. It's pretty short as well. Just have activities in your day-to-day life that bring you joy. I know this was on mental health, but this is actually really important. Because you need something to look forward to in the future. And it can't just depend on other people. It has to be what you do on the daily schedule. If you want to start a YouTube channel, start it. What's stopping you? Oh, but I want to prepare more. Fuck up, man. There's preparation and there's procrastination. Be honest with yourself and you'll know. But anyways, if you want to get into, let's say, the fighting gym, do it. These things that are actual activities, and no, it's not just going to the arcade every day. That is not an activity. That is just something to do to hang out with your friends, but actual activities, going for runs every day. Maybe you want to read every day, or even write. Whatever it is, you need to figure out your starting point and then how you can do it every single day and how you can build on it. Maybe you want to start writing just creative writing. Simple, just short novels. 15 pages long. And then who knows? 10 years from now, you might be an author. These activities are important because it will heavily impact your mood. It will make you feel better. Also, these things help you meet new people. It will be surprising, but if you go hiking a lot, you will meet people on the hiking trails that you'll just end up having a yarn to. Or maybe even in the cabins. It's simple as that. You will find people who have similar interests to you that you could probably call your new friends. Okay, so schedule. I'm just gonna keep it very short, but I reckon having a calendar on your phone, well, the default is having a calendar, but just write down big events and then just put a reminder the day before. But also make a routine, a daily routine. The way to start small is just write down things, try and keep them in order. Like you wake up, you gratitude journal, you do push-ups, you brush your teeth, and then you eat a protein bar, and then you're working out. And then shower, work after. Just keep it simple if you don't have a routine already. Just a list of things you need to do. Maybe you need to do the dishes once you get home from work. Whatever it is, write it down, and then incorporate your sleep schedule. So if you do this correctly, you will have 7 a.m. wake up, morning routine, and then maybe like a block for your job or school. And then just another list of things. Separating morning from night. Simple as that, right? The way to progressively overload on this, to develop yourself in this skill of building discipline to staying on task, is to start adding times. If you have been doing this for a few weeks, you'll generally know how long a certain activity will take. So you would write it down. Now the extra step you can take is every 15 minutes per day. Leave out work, of course, but from 7 a.m. to 7:15, I'm doing this. And of course, working out will take multiple chunks or different activities. So write down working out and then leave it blank for the next 15-minute periods. But this is a way that you can actually stay on track, well, on task, nearly every single minute of the day. So, the reason why this is so good for your mental health and like, this is how to stop being suicidal, of course, but having a routine is just easy to stick to. When you don't have a routine, you will genuinely just drift away into your wants instead of your needs. Oh, I kind of feel like playing video games right now. If you don't have that routine, guess what you're going to do? Pull out your controller, turn on your PS5 and play for 3 hours. And then tomorrow you're a little less productive at school. Instead of going for that walk, journaling and meditating. Okay, so with lifestyle, incorporate things that improve yourself. Improve your hygiene, haircut. Don't take hair advice from me. But just all these simple things, and you'll notice difference over time. With just these simple 15-minute blocks of maybe you want to stretch for 15 minutes. You'll feel a lot better 3 weeks from now if you've been stretching every single day. Okay, just list of things. Good hygiene, simple. Shower at least once a day. Yes, at least once a day. You're gross if you don't. Bed sheets and pillow sheets every week at the least. Teeth twice a day, obviously. And yeah, that's lifestyle done. Okay, so coping mechanisms. This is the last part of this video, but I've also got a bit more to this video to end it off. Damn, we're at 57 minutes now. So, as I've explained before, coping mechanisms is just what you do when you're feeling sad. People in general who are suicidal have the worst coping mechanisms. Because that is what has caused them to end up that way. For me, in my experience at least. And I know for others. Because when you're feeling sad, or when you're feeling down, you need something that will cheer you up that doesn't make you feel like shit afterwards. Meaning when you're sad, you don't order Uber Eats, a fucking huge pizza that you eat by yourself. So then you feel shit later and you feel shit tomorrow. You need things that make you feel good in the non-instant gratification way. A lot of people don't realize, but this is actually how... This is one of the main effects of mental health. Because if you have a poor mental health, you tend to choose the bad things instead of the good things. Some people aren't even aware of the good things. They just think, oh yeah, playing video games after work, that's normal. Nothing wrong with that. Oh no, I need a drink of water. My throat's getting dry. So with a routine, you need to incorporate rest periods where you are meditating or where you are just journaling. Things that are easy and low effort, where you're either resting your body or resting your mind. Okay, so when you're feeling angry, do things that would suppress the anger in a healthy way, where you convert it. Don't just ignore the anger or ignore the sadness. If you're angry, work out. Go to that fighting gym. Hit that punching bag as hard as you can. It will make you feel a lot better now and in the long term, rather than just trying to watch Netflix and obsess over drama that is staged. So there's bad coping mechanisms and good coping mechanisms. Bad would be drugs, video games, porn. Shit that just makes you feel better. Scrolling through social media. They'll make you feel better now, but decrease your happiness in the long term. What you need to do is try and convert every single bad coping mechanism into a good coping mechanism. So even when you're feeling happy, go for a walk with a smile on your face. Shoulders back. Be happy. Allow yourself to be happy. So, the good coping mechanisms that I have are when I am constantly thinking about something, I will journal about it. Or when I'm feeling sad, I will sleep, honestly. Or I will try and be grateful for something. Or when I'm feeling tired, I will watch a podcast and meditate. So, once these activities are over, they have a different effect than the instant gratification activities. because you feel good about yourself. You're like, oh yeah, I just did that workout. I did a pretty decent job. That's a lot better than just cleaning up your fucking nut, bro. I'm telling you, man. Okay, so I haven't gotten into meditation yet, but I will call this a coping mechanism because it's a rest period that I think you should do daily, and this has probably helped me a lot. This is one of the main things that stopped me from being suicidal. Other than physical fitness, because that was a big part. But meditation is one of the single daily things that I've done that has got me out of the pit of suicidal nature. Meditation is simply just staying present. Be in the moment. Something that 80% of people in my generation lack. In our generation. So what you do, there's many different ways you can do this, but simply just close your eyes and focus on your breath. You'll notice that within a few seconds, your mind is actually going somewhere else. You may not notice it straight away, but after a little bit of thought, you'll think, wait, stay present, stay present. So what you need to do is just bring your mind back to your breath. Do deep breaths through the nose and out the nose. And don't get mad at yourself when you start thinking about other things. Because you will suck at the start. Most of these things you will suck at the start. Whether it's going for runs, you may not even last 500 meters. Or half a mile. Or you can't even journal for 4 lines. You will suck at these things at the start, but that's okay. We all do. Do you expect the baby to hop up and start running? 2 months old? No. It takes time. It takes time to develop your mind into a different lifestyle. This is a lifelong commitment, and you need to be aware of that. So just take it slow. You have plenty of time to do this. Even if you're like 45 years old watching this video. So, when you are scrolling through social media, your attention span is evaporating. What I mean is, when you're on TikTok, right? You can focus on one video at a time. So, you open TikTok and you see a video on your For You page. It's context about a dude in the street asking questions to random strangers. And then just with one simple scroll, it is another randomized video about a car drifting. And then you scroll again. And then you scroll again. And again and again. These are different realities that you are constantly shifting. Imagine if a fucking teacher came up to you. Sorry for swearing a lot, by the way. I'm sorry if I've pissed you off. It's just, that's me. Imagine if a teacher gave you all these different subjects, like a geography book, a science book, a maths book, and all these other books, psychology, I haven't been to school in a while, health, but they're randomized. You don't know what is what. You don't know which one is which. And he is just handing you these books to just start doing work on. Handing you these books, start doing work. Handing you another one, another one, another one, another one. That is every single time you scroll. Because you are changing your attention from one book to another. From one reality to another. I have never seen someone explain it this way, but that's how I'm explaining it. Because you aren't focused on one single thing. And this is what causes the stimulation in your mind. You aren't in the moment. You are in the streets of New York asking questions to strangers, and then you're in a car drifting along a cliff. It is crazy what scrolling on social media does to your brain. And then you're staring at ass. A girl twerking. The best advice that I can give you is delete all social media. And if you have one social media, I would recommend Snapchat. And just have only your friends added. I wouldn't even recommend snapping them. So what meditation does, it is quite literally the opposite from TikTok for your mind. It is practicing the art of staying present. Because presence is a skill that is so lacked in our generation. And it is something that is incredibly valuable. Because it's not just for your benefit, but for others. When your friend is venting to you, and he's talking about his experience with suicide. Maybe he's gone through something like you, and you start thinking, oh yeah, I've been through that too. So you say it out loud. Oh yeah, that reminds me of that situation. Bro, do you really think he wants you to just start rambling on about some random shit? No. He wants you to stay present. He wants you to listen and actually hear his words. And not let your mind drift off to other places that you then bring into the conversation to completely sidetrack everything they just said. You need to stay in the moment for other people. Imagine you're with your future kid and they can't even make eye contact with you. They are too busy staring at their iPad that they do not even look you in the eye. 6 years old. Can't even have a conversation with you. You ask them how their day was, and they're just like... But yeah, meditation is for everyone's benefit around you, including yourself, because then you can just focus on things that you want to. I found myself doing a spatial design assignment on the last night it was due. It was due at 12 a.m. I did not start it until 5 p.m. that night. It took me 6 hours to do it. In reality, it should have taken me 3. Because I was not able to concentrate. I was literally staring at my screen going like this, struggling to concentrate and so frustrated that I could not concentrate and I had no idea why. If you relate to this, delete TikTok. It will only help you. There is nothing you will miss out on. Trends don't fucking matter. They don't. You might think they do, but they just don't. They come and go. And in a few years' time, they're going to be coming and going every single week. Shit, we almost done, boys. Also, a side effect of meditation, a good effect, is when you start indulging in the bad habits, you'll catch yourself. You'll become present again and think, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I opening incognito for the 3rd time today? The more you meditate, the more you get these thoughts. When you start scrolling on Instagram, you'll think, wait, what am I doing? I'm meant to be reading right now. And then you'll put your phone away and start reading. It is a skill that is to be leveled up. And I highly recommend that you start meditating. Even if you're not spiritual or believe in God or don't believe that we have a purpose, do it for you. Be selfish. And it will also help others. My bad, I'm just going to read for a little bit, read my notes. This will take time, replacing all these coping mechanisms. And they are a reflection of your health and lifestyle, your mental health. You'll notice the change of your mental health once you improve it. And others will as well. Like, others have noticed mine, as I've pretty much made everything public. I have literally a whole section of my channel dedicated to Call of Duty videos. I keep them up because people will notice that progress. That I've quit video games. I have thousands of hours on COD at 16 years old. And I just quit. So I'm just going to put a list right now of all the bad coping mechanisms I can think of currently. And I want you to try and replace them with all of these. Okay, this is going to be my outro. So, if you're still watching this and you're considering suicide, I used to be in your spot. I know what it feels like going to sleep with your eyes covered in tears. The late night walks, just trying to sort out your shit. The random bursts of motivation that soon go. The bullying. The addictions. What feels to be everlasting pain. If you've truly made up your mind, if you truly want to commit suicide, and you have nothing left to lose, and you are going to leave this earth, then what's one more day? What is one more day on this earth? Why not just stick around for just that little bit longer? Don't do it tonight, do it tomorrow night. Because what you'll notice is that in the next day, it's not as bad as you thought it would be. I'm not saying do it tomorrow night, but just don't do it tonight. All the best shit that's happened to me has happened to me at random. The last year of my life has been the most chaotic and random as fuck experience. Because I've gone from this to that to this to that. All over the place. And it has brought me the most joy. And did I plan any of it? No. All of these things came to me at random. All of the best things that are for you just around the door, just around the corner, happen at random. I'm not gonna sprinkle you with all that you have so much to live for bullshit. None of that had an effect on me, and none of that would have an effect on you, in my opinion. And everyone's fucking heard that. Think of yourself from 5 years ago, and think about where you are now. Do it for them. Do they really want to see you like this? Your past self? Everything comes to an end. We all die eventually. Don't let that be today. You are enough. Your mistakes don't define you. That bully, fuck that guy. He's got his own mental problems that he's just taking out on you. Stay. Because if there is an afterlife, you'll be spending it in regret. Think of yourself in a year from now, what you could be. The opportunities, they're limitless. You think, 1 year ago today, I was drinking coke, jacking off, playing COD, literally making gaming content. Do you think that me 1 year ago today would think I would be here doing this? Talking about mental health and meditation? No. Life is so random. Stick around for it. Because the storm passes. It may not seem like it right now, but it does. You can genuinely change your life. I fucking believe in you. You got this. All this suffering and everything, all the pain, it doesn't end with suicide. It ends with a change of mind and heart. And if I can do it, look at me. I'm a nobody. You can do it too. Yeah. Discord in the description. I'm not a professional, but if you just want to talk to me in my DMs, I'll put my Discord right here. Feel free to add me. And if you made it this far, I am truly grateful for you. And I wish the best for you. Peace.